All right, so let's dive right in. Websites, everybody's got them, but for nonprofits, it's got to be more than just, here we are. We're talking making it really work, right?
Oh, for sure. It's like the front door now, first impression, all that, especially for folks who might not know your work yet.
Exactly. So this deep dive, we're going off an article, Enhance Engagement with Essential Features for Nonprofit Organization Websites.
Which kind of sounds dry, but TT, it's from Site Design now. They do websites for a living, so inside scoop, yeah.
Yeah, no, and it's smart. They're not just like, use this widget. It's how each thing makes the experience better so people actually stick around,
Right.
which for a nonprofit is, kind of the whole point.
Okay, so they hit hard on impact stories right off the bat. Like, grab them with these vivid imagery, testimonials, all the feels. Makes sense. Kinda. But how does that actually, translate to results?
Think about it. Why do people even support nonprofits? They want to make a difference, yeah. Impact stories show that. Your donation, whatever, it actually does something, not just numbers on a page. So like a photo of the kid whose life's changed by a scholarship, different than just, we gave X scholarships.
Bingo. We're storytellers, us humans. We connect with that. Compelling story sticks in your head. You feel it. You're way more likely to actually do something about it, not just, oh, that's nice.
Makes total sense. But keeping them fresh, that's tough, yeah. Nonprofits are BUSY, finding time for new content all the time.
Real talk, it's a hurdle. But see it as investment? An active site shows you're active, right? Could be one person curating, reaching out to folks you've helped. Even a blog, different voices, keeps it lively.
Okay, so doable, even if you're small. Now, donation buttons, they're saying every page. Part of me is like, yes, but also overkill much.
Yeah, I get that balance is key. Prominent, not obnoxious. Think header, footer, maybe sidebar. And mobile, gotta adapt to that too. Can't be blocking the whole screen on a phone.
So strategy, not just button spamming, check. They also say multiple payment options, which seems like duh, but
Crucial. You want easy peasy donating, right? The more choices, the more likely someone completes it. Credit cards, PayPal, whatever's popular, even that crypto stuff some folks are into, removes friction, makes it happen.
it's like you get them all pumped up, ready to give, and bam, their payment's not there, mood killer. Okay, so impact, donations, volunteers. They kind of skim over that, yet they're the lifeblood of so many.
True, and the easy sign-up they mention is just the start. Gotta sell it, right? Pics, videos of volunteers in action, testimonials, not just tasks, the whole experience.
And they did say, short sign-up form, respecting people's time. I dig that.
Psychology 101, the easier something is, the more we do it. Streamline that sign-up, maybe even social logins, meet them where they are, boom, less drop-off.
I've abandoned forms, they were so long. So ease is key.
Yeah.
Which ties into trust, which they say transparency is huge for. Makes sense. Donors got to know their money's doing good.
Oh, absolutely. Got to walk the walk, not just talk it. Financial reports, impact summaries, they say. But go further. Infographics even. Break it down visually.
Like, don't tell me about wells. Show me one being built. Impacts way harder. Builds that trust. Crucial for any organization, but especially nonprofits.
Nail on the head. And tailor it, right. Environmental. Show a map of what you protected. Education. Stories of the students' help. Makes it real.
So smart. Okay, impact, money, volunteers, being up front. Last biggie they hit, events. Gotta admit, love me a good calendar on a site. Makes it feel alive.
Keeps them coming back, right? And don't just list them. Think visually. Good pics, maybe even tiny videos to get the vibe, testimonials from past folks. Easy sign up right there, tickets even.
Yeah, way more likely to go if I can get all the info, sign up in 2 clicks. But too much, especially if they do lots of events, gets overwhelming fast.
True, gotta manage that. Filters, categories, maybe separate pages even for different types. And social media is your friend. Blast it out everywhere.
So strategy again, always thinking user first. Phew, we've covered a lot. From tucking heartstrings to the nuts and bolts of forms, makes you realize a nonprofit site, that's a whole endeavor, huh?
It is, but don't get overwhelmed. Pick one thing to improve, then another. Small tweaks can snowball into big results.
Good point. Less daunting that way. But I'm stuck on this. The article's all about the pieces, but what about the whole vibe of the site? Like, how do you make it feel authentic, not just another cookie-cutter nonprofit page?
Oh, that's huge GE, and leads to something they kind of gloss over. It's like, you can have the best ingredients, but if you don't know how to cook, it's still a mess, right? It's the whole design, the tone, not just features, but how they fit together.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we've talked buttons, stories, but does it feel right? Welcoming, but also like this specific organization, not just Generic nonprofit template number 3.
Spot on. It's brand identity, that marketing E-term. But basically, what's your soul? What makes you you? And then how does the site show that?
So like soul searching before you even pick fonts.
Deep. It's worth it. And get everyone involved, staff, volunteers. What words describe you? What images? What do you want people to feel when they land on that homepage? Smart. Not just hire a designer, make it pretty, it's deeper. But then how do all those feelings turn into like actual pixels on a screen?
That's where the pro comes in, the designer. But T, gotta be one who gets nonprofits, can translate those warm fuzzies into something that looks good and works right.
Not just makes pretty websites, but gets our mission. That's a tall order.
It is. It's a partnership, not just a job they do.
Yeah.
And then comes the fun stuff. Colors, fonts.
Yeah.
All got to serve that bigger purpose.
So like working with kids, you're probably not going to go all dark and edgy with the design, right?
Right. Bright, fun, maybe a little whimsical, environmental, earthy tones, nature pics. It's a language, visual, but still communicating who you are.
And of course, easy to use, because what's the point of pretty if people can't find anything?
100%. Form and defunction. Now, one thing I've been thinking about, this article's from Australia, right? Does that matter? Like, is designing for good different around the world?
Ooh, good point. Like universal principles, sure, but cultures are different. Big time. Even colors, like red's happy here, but mourning somewhere else, could get awkward fast if you're not careful.
Yikes, yeah.
Yeah.
More than just translating the words, got to translate the whole feeling.
Yep. Images, tone, even how you arrange stuff. What's polite in one place is rude in another. Global audience. Do your homework. Maybe different versions of the site even.
Good framework, but not one size fits all. More like a starting point for thinking deep.
Exactly. Makes you really examine what are we about online. Not just we need a website, but what does our website need to be?
Deep stuff.
Oh.
Okay, so we've gone from the nitty-gritty, the buttons and forms, to big picture, the soul of the site. But what about what you actually put on it? The words, the pics, that's got to matter too.
Oh, absolutely. That's where it gets really fun, because
Yeah.
that's where you can let your personality shine through, and that's what we'll explore next.
It's like the articles from web designers, so looks, tech, that's their jam. But the stuff on the site, the words, what you're actually saying to people,
Yeah.
that's got to be key too, right?
Oh, huge. This is where the heart comes in. Not just we do this, but the WHY, the stories. That's what grabs people.
So impact stories again, but got to be more than that. A whole website of just those would get old. What else can nonprofits be putting out there?
Think, who's your audience? What do they want? Blog posts, maybe, tying current events to your work, explaining stuff, making it clear why it matters. Resources even, so they can learn something. Or profiles of the people you help, that human touch.
So less, look at US. More, here's what's going on and how you fit in.
Bingo. Resource Hub, you're the go-to for this topic. And don't forget, content ain't just words, pictures, obviously, but videos, infographics, even those interactive thingies make it pop.
Yeah, that old saying, picture's worth 1,000 words. Never gets old.
Because it's true. And video, man, that emotion, you can't fake that. Show your impact, introduce your team, even just day in a life kind of stuff makes it real.
No need for fancy cameras, even just good storytelling, right?
Exactly. Authenticity over gloss, always. And get your fan S involved, testimonials, them sharing pics, social media shout-outs. Turns it into a movement, not just you talking AT, folks.
Love that. Okay, so we got content rolling. But how do we know it's working? Like all this effort, is it actually doing anything out in the world?
Ah, the million-dollar question. That's where data comes in, all that tracking stuff, website visits, how long they stick around, what they CLICK tells a story.
So not just set it and forget it. Got to be a scientist about it.
100%. Got your hypothesis, your website does X, then you test it, tweak it, like donate, button's getting ignored, maybe it's in the wrong spot or the wording's off.
Data is detective, huh? So what kind of things are we even looking for?
Start basic. How many visits are folks bouncing off right away? How long do they stay? It gives you a temperature check. Are people even interested?
Okay, but the real meat, the donations, the volunteers, how do we tie them into the website?
Conversion tracking, that's the fancy term. You set goals like someone donates and you see the path they took to get there. Did they come from a specific page? See what's working, what's not.
So it's not just we got 100 donations. It's this page led to 50 of them. Suddenly, you know what to focus on.
Exactly. Maybe your volunteer form's too long. People quit halfway through. Data tells you that. You shorten it. Boom. More volunteers. Constant tweaking.
Powerful stuff. Okay, so from Heart-tugging stories to being a data nerd. Feels like we've cracked the code on nonprofit websites, huh?
Pretty much, it's that blend, art, A&D, science. But one last thought. The article, it's about what's on the site, right? But what about how it feels to use it?
Ooh, yeah, because clunky websites, we've all been there. It's a turnoff no matter how good the content is.
Big time. It's called user experience or UX. It's a whole field.
Yeah.
Because if it's frustrating, slow, people bounce. Got to be smooth, intuitive, like you just flow through it.
So like real life, if a store is messy, you probably walk out, even if they have what you want.
Exactly. Website's the same. Easy navigation, clear what's what, works on phones. That's baseline. Then it's how you guide folks, like a story, almost.
Ooh, I like that. Like a good museum, you don't just dump all the artifacts in one room. There's a path.
Yes. Website's your story. They learn about you, get engaged, maybe donate or volunteer, and then you show the impact. They see the whole picture and their part in it.
Way more satisfying than just, here's a wall of text. Good luck figuring it out.
Right. And make it fun. Visuals, interactive bits, even a little game-like stuff. Keeps them clicking.
So experience over just information dump. Got it.
Yeah.
But experiences, they can be good or bad, right? What makes the difference?
Accessibility's huge. Can folks with disabilities use your site? Keyboard navigation, alt text for pics, all that. It's the right thing to do, and D, often the law.
Can't be inspiring change if you're excluding people. Makes sense.
Right. There are guidelines, tools to check all this, and then just plain performance. Site's got to be fast, work on any device.
Ugh, yeah, slow websites. The bane of my existence. We're all busy, ain't nobody got time for that.
Nope. Lose people before they even see your awesomeness. Image sizes, code stuff, good hosting. Gets technical, but solvable.
So it's a lot, huh? Heart, smarts, tech skills. Running a nonprofit website, that's a whole job on its own.
It is demanding, but the payoff is huge. Done right, it's your best advocate, fundraiser, community builder, all in one.
I'm kind of mind blown by all this, honestly.
Yeah.
We went from what buttons to use to, like, the philosophy of websites. Amazing what good design can do.
It's an art, truly. And like any art, it takes practice. Don't be afraid to experiment. See what works for your audience, your cause.
Love that advice. So as we wrap this up, listeners, think big picture. Your website, it's not just a thing you have, it's an extension of your mission out there in the world.
Make it something you're proud of, something that truly reflects the good you're doing.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. Keep learning, keep creating, and we'll see you next time.